Hey, my loves. I am back with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you guys are doing fabulous and pouring into yourselves on this blissful, beautiful Sunday. I hope that you guys are staying prayed up, and I hope that you guys are practicing spiritual cleansings. Okay. We are about to go into a black moon, or we are in a black moon. Um, I don't know when this video is gonna pause. It's gonna post, but whenever I upload it, it's when you'll see it. But this was actually recorded on the first day of the black moon. The black moon, for those who don't know, this is a bad moon to manifest with. Okay, so for those that don't know anything about spirituality, and you're trying to manifest for yourself right now, this is not the right moon. This black moon is for the karmics. And by the karmics, I mean like the toxic group that I have been referring to and the people that I've been speaking about. It's pretty much for them to, to sever and release negativity, but it's not going to work because they have to go through the universal process of paying the karma that they brought on to themselves, with lifetimes and lifetimes of bad deeds and evil against humanity and those that are innocent children of God. Um, so basically, the black moon is not a good moon for anyone to manifest, only for people that have no knowledge about what the black moon truly is. Okay. So that's that. Okay. Um, Mainly, the reason I wanted to make this video for you guys is because for those that are listening and for those that are watching me, and by that I mean online and physically, um, I hope that this message helps a little bit. Um, I want to speak to you guys about about some of the things that I have been speaking about in my previous videos. How people in high places were supposed to support me and they were supposed to stand by my side and help me grow. Instead, they chose to steal it all from for them, for their own gain, and decided to, started siphoning and harvesting off of my energy, my visions, my goals, everything that I had in mind was harvested and siphoned by these people. And I am going to mention names this time because I want to be specific about the people that I am speaking about. I don't have anything against any of these people. Keep in mind that I'm only bringing this up because it's an example or another example of how people took advantage of a person that they thought was gullible, but was more of a kind person. And remember that being kind is not a weakness, it is not a vulnerability, it is power, it is greatness. That's what that means. For those that tell you otherwise, they're simply miserable and want you to miss on opportunities or be as just as miserable as they are. Um, in the past few years, I, like I said before, I have owned other social media pages like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Um, uh, Never had a YouTube before. This was my first YouTube channel that I have ever had. I converted it from Gia's Animation Light or Gia's Animation World into Mystic Productions 886. Um, I don't remember why I created a new one, but that's kind of what happened with that one. In regards to people that I want to tell you about, the following names are people that appeared in some of my social media pages that stayed there for quite some time. They didn't really stay there for a month or 2 months or 3 weeks, none of that. They stayed there in my page as friends for quite some time, but they never bothered to say hello. They never bothered to introduce themselves, even though I accepted their request. And I could see that they were actually verified celebrities, so I knew for a fact that they were real people. You can tell when a celebrity page is a fake one, and you can tell when a real celebrity page is real, right? So that's how I knew. That's why I had them as in my friends list on Facebook. Um, Lupita Nyong'o, she was one of them. For many years, she stayed behind the scenes, behind the profile, always watching what I was doing, always watching and studying my every move, my mentality, the way I think, the way I, how do you say this? The way that I naturally produce a personality without having to try or having to put on a front of someone that just it doesn't exist. Um, what you guys, what you guys see in me is what you get, and a lot of people that do know me in person, they will tell you that she's actually as real as it gets, because a lot of people that know me, some of the ex-boyfriends for that matter that I've ever had, they walked away for the same reason, that they wanted someone superficial, someone who was more of a slut, or I'm sorry the word, but they wanted someone that just didn't have a heart or feelings, so they didn't want someone that was real. That was the reason why my ex-boyfriends and I never really, how do you say that? We never really connected in that aspect. It was all based on lust. It was all based on fantasies for both of us. But it was never based out of anything else. Um, I think that the last part of myself is what they enjoyed the most, I believe. And I think that, of course, some of them knew that about my divinity. They knew about my spiritual gifts. So pretty much they stay there only to siphon and harvest off of my energy, because most of them were people that remember and keep in mind that what I'm telling you is what happened to me. Okay. um, Most of the men that I ever dated were men that were specifically sent out by people in the underground, entities of the underground, and people from the 33-degree Masons, all the Masons that work together, and all these cultish witchcraft, whatever it is that they do. So they knew about all of that. That's how these men were in my life. That was the reason why they didn't think twice to walk away, because they were only there for a specific reason, to do something to you, and or to get something from you. So moving on, Lupita Nyong'o was one of them. I always clicked like on. I would always click like on her pictures. I would always click like on her comments whenever she would post and things like that. But she would never acknowledge my posts. She'll see it because I can see it that she viewed it, but that was it. Um, and then I started to notice that she started copying all my looks, and even my hair, or um, like mainly she would copy my artistic part of it, and the way I looked, as far as the way I dress and things like that. I'm very much of a person who likes pastel colors. I do like a scandalous color every once in a while, but not all the time. I'm more of a pastel colors woman. But yeah, I noticed that she started coming out on magazines with pastel colors and things like that. And I'm like, she's posing like me. She has pastel colors on her, and she never says hello. And that was pretty much a big giveaway for me. And keep in mind that, like, when these things happened, I didn't do anything. I just laughed about it. And sometimes I even found it flattering that they would try to copy my poses, or copy, the way I speak, or copy my mentality, my essence all together, just to kind of get the same likeness that I had because they wanted that. I've been telling you guys that these people in the industry, these people are not new to me. These people are not new. I am not new for them. They know about me. They have known about me for many years. And they are the same people that oppressed me in the background and pushed me towards the background so that no one would ever see that it was me who they were stealing and siphoning ideas and creative ideas from. I sometimes would look at artists and I was always almost amazed to see and thrilled to see that, better yet, shocked to see that these people were making videos out of the ideas that I actually had in my mind. And, because they are so high up there in the celebrity status, right? You really think that these people are going to take a one look at you? Do you really believe that they are going to spend 1 second with you? They are not. They're not even that nice. So, no, I really, I wanted to believe that that wasn't the case, but that was actually the case. Um, and then I had Sofia Vergara. Sofia Vergara, right before she came out with her clothing line, I noticed that I accepted her friend's request on my Facebook. She never said thank you or anything. And the same thing as Lupita Nyong'o, she would just sit there behind the scenes, behind the profile. And I knew that she was real. That was her real that was her real page. But they never bothered to step by and say, "Hey, how are you?" Something like that, or "Nice to meet you." I sometimes would send them messages on Messenger saying, "Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you for accepting my request," or something like that. But they would not even click like. They would not even acknowledge. Nothing. So I kind of disconnected from being too nice and polite to them because they're too snobby. They're too much of a snobby people. Just because they have a certain kind of spotlight or a certain amount of money in their bank accounts does not make them royalties. It doesn't make them anything. Keep in mind that some of these people are in those places not because they are who they are, but because they stole who they are from another person. The entire time that the world has seen people's faces like the ones that I am telling you about, these people were literally swindling the world with an image of divinity that did not belong to them. They pretty much replicated and copied everything. And keep in mind that the Masons and the Illuminati, when they got together and they started working against me only because I could not be controlled and they couldn't tame me, they started to hire people to copy and replicate everything that I did so that they can go ahead and copy it and they would make more money than I would, and I would be hidden in the background or thrown into the background while they are making millions of dollars on my ideas and my creativity by siphoning it through uh, because this is disgusting. Okay, this is not for everyone, and for those that are going to be triggered about this, I'm sorry, but this is something I need to speak about. These people would practice sexual gratification, whether what it was with themselves or it was with others. And whenever they did that, they would put my name on an altar as a way to offer it to Satan, so that Satan can offer them my essence, my light, my likeness, my destiny, my life all together. Because all these people have been completely obsessed and fascinated by what my destiny was. That was the reason they did all of these things against me. They didn't just sabotage my livelihood, they sabotaged my entire destiny from a long time ago. I was literally sold to these people by, I believe it's a sister or a stepsister, or my, could have been my father, my stepmother, but it has to be someone in one of those families, someone that knew me very well and knew about my gifts. And they started to pretty much pimping out my energy to people like these celebrities. They would tell them about me. Hey, this person, this and this and that. And they will go and start doing things like, either sending people to your place or them themselves coming to your place around your neighborhood or around your place, and they'll start burying items in the yard to cast spells on you, to get you to be stagnated and completely obstructed, um, so that that gives them time to steal what is yours, your ideas. This is how they, created that image that they now have. But if you the photographers and the producers that know these people personally know exactly what I'm talking about. The directors that from movie directors, movie producers, they know what I'm talking about because I'm not new to the sets either. I've been on Hollywood sets more than I don't remember how many times. But in some cases, they edited that scenes so that no one would ever see me, so on and so forth. And like I said, these people had it all strategically calculated on how they were going to steal, how they were going to make money, how they were going to take what was yours, and then swindle the world into believing that that's who they were, into believing that that was their divinity, that they were actually chosen mystique. When I mentioned to you guys about Lady Gaga, when I met her in 2011, when she first came out, she was my it girl. I freaking loved her. The music, everything, I was in it. But when I met her in person and she did what she did and gave me the eyes of 1,000 deaths, I literally got turned off by the whole situation. And I told you I started to get rid of all her music and albums because I was disgusted with her insecurity and her grotesque behavior of such dishonest person, because that is how she comes off. She doesn't come off as a person that is genuine or authentic. She'll smile in your face, but that smile can cost you in so many different ways. That's my point. I'm not gonna go beyond that. She already knows who I'm talking about and who I am. Like I said, I'm not new to anyone. All these people have known about me all these years, and they intentionally threw me in the background so that they can hide me and they can continue to live off of my energy and they can continue to walk in my energy. This is what these people have done when it comes to the one that keeps asking for engagement rings from men, right? When it comes to her and to this person, this singer, and to the other one, she's a Virgo, big celebrity pop star. Um, these people were very strategic in how they placed themselves into my energy without me ever being aware of what was truly happening. And like I said before, while I was busy struggling, you know, going through so many unfortunate events and people thinking that, what did you do? Did you do something wrong, really bad? What happened? Why are you going through this much bad karma? I'm like, it's not bad karma. I haven't done anything. I don't know what this is. And for many years, that is how exactly that's how exactly how it was. While I was wearing their bad luck and bad energy, they are busy wearing my energy and being successful while I am living their bad luck and misery and bad karma, because that was called destiny swap. Keep in mind that when I'm telling you about these people, this group of people are experts. As we speak, these people are in the background doing witchcraft, doing all kinds of black magic to change the fate of my destiny, to change the path of my destiny, to destroy my destiny. Just the same way that they keep destroying everything that I create, they want to destroy even the destiny that God gave me, the path that God gave me. Because they say, she doesn't deserve to have this lifestyle. She doesn't deserve to walk this road. of success. We have told the world that she's a peasant and she'll stay a peasant. This is how degrading their references towards me is. And it's not just degrading, it's hate at its worst. And this is coming from people that people look up to, the people admire, people somewhat respect and think of them as honorable. But the whole time, they're honoring my energy. Theirs alone, people probably wouldn't like them at all. Haven't you heard the expression, don't let me feed you to the models? Don't let me feed you to the actors on set because they will eat you alive. These are people that are naturally induced by doing evil things to other people, whether that is because they are bullies naturally, or they were just like that the whole time, all their lives, or they are simply getting paid to bully people. Because I'm not the only person that they are doing this. And their way of trying to get out of it is, well, she's not the only one. Why does she think that she's the only one? She's not better than anyone else. Well, that's just it. The whole concept of being better than anyone else, they created it in their heads. No one ever said that I said that. I didn't say that. But it's flattering to think that they think of me that way, even though they refuse to give it to me in the public way, because they continue to want to hide me, to keep taking what belongs to me, to keep taking everything that I create. Blatantly, disrespectfully. And their hate for me is not even me that they hate. It's the divinity of God that they see within me, the light. They hate my light because my light irritates their demons. And ask yourselves, well, how is that her fault? It's not my fault. That's their fault for being stupid and insecure. That's what happens when you give millions of dollars to insecure little kids, children. These are grown people. These are not 20-year-olds. Going back to Sofia Vergara. Sofia Vergara finally, she never said hello, like I said, but she kept on, she stayed on my profile page on my messenger page for a long time. And she would also watch all my posts because I can see who viewed my post and who didn't. Out of all the friends lists that I had, I can see it. And I can see that they would look at my pictures and my posts, but they would never click like. Sofia Vergara was one of them, that she was literally the same thing as Lupita Nyong'o, absorbing, siphoning, stealing, harvesting it, the whole 9 yards. And the next thing you know, I am working at Walmart. I am a team lead at Walmart. And the next thing I see is Sofia Vergara with her clothing line, which is great. I like her clothes, don't get me wrong. But the poses, the way that she poses on her clothing line, look at her photos, look at her videos, look at all her photos, her poses. Obviously, our bodies are not the same, but look at the pose. All these people busy out there making millions of dollars out of my artistic poses, my own creativity. The spark that I bring into the set, they have been living off of it. And all these people are part of a cult. These are all witches and warlocks. I don't care how divine other people think of them. I don't think of them that way. I see them exactly for who they are. Reptilians, narcissists, lunatics, zero personality or zero charisma. And they want to sit there and do nothing but witchcraft to end me, to finish me because these people want me dead. There's a lot of people that want me dead, but specifically these people. Even that 70-plus-year-old black woman that I spoke about in my last video. That woman, I never even met her. But of course, she knew who I was. She's a warlock. What do you think? Of course that she does. No, she knows. And all she wants to do is hire people on YouTube to play algorithms that bring nothing but car accidents as her way of manifesting a deadly car accident for me. There's a whole lot of car accidents commercials on my YouTube account that where did they come from? I haven't been in a car accident, and I knock on wood because I am heavily and divinely protected. They are the ones that are not protected. They need to stop sending all these spells when they are not protected at all. And that is the part that they keep missing. They keep missing it. They have told them that they are heavily protected, but in reality, they are not. Take a good look around them and look at how many people have passed away around them, especially in the last 6 months. With all this death graveyard magic that they keep doing, they actually go to the graveyard and collect dirt. And then they come to your place and they throw it on your door as a way of saying this is the way you're going to die. And then suddenly, when you haven't even been in a car accident, normally things will pop up on your feed because that's what you've been searching, or maybe that's what you were looking for on Google, or maybe because that's what you just got into. But the fact that I've never even gotten into a car accident, and I knock on wood, okay, the fact that those ads keep popping up in my YouTube account, it's telling me one thing. They want to put me in a car accident because they figure if they can't physically touch me and kill me themselves, then they will do it that way. Do you remember Anne Hitch, the actress from 6 Days, 7 Nights, which, by the way, I loved her. May she rest in peace. And I know her soul is doing well with God, because despite the darkness that she was involved with and on here on the earthly realms, she actually sits with God. Because she was an innocent angel, an earth angel, a true earth angel. And people have a hard time recognizing the difference between an earth angel and a reptilian disguised as an earth angel. Because that's what all these people are. Reptilians walking in divine energy, cloaking themselves as pure, with good intentions when they have nothing but bad intentions for everyone in general. Kids, teenagers, adults, elderly, they all have an agenda for all of them. When you hear stories like, oh, so-and-so big name was spotted in a very small town, she's not there because she wants to be there or because that person wants to be there. That person is in that small town walking around with a big name because that person obviously knows that there is someone in that town that they're going to exploit and siphon from, to steal something from them. And they do it in the most disgusting way. The most disgusting way that you can possibly think of. In some cases, you guys have seen situations and where grown women are grabbing the butt or a boy's butt who is a minor in front of the public, in front of the cameras, openly getting away with sexual molestation, sexual harassment. Because Justin Bieber was a clear example of that. We all saw that. And while everyone thinks it's cute, we know that this is wrong. It's molestation. These people are, the majority of these people are sexual predators. rapists that have been released from jail or prison and placed in Earth Angels areas, like what they did with me in Reno, placing dangerous people in front of my apartment, paying them to move in. And coincidentally speaking, that person that I've been telling you about, that woman, she was paid to move into my in front of my apartment just to keep doing magic, to keep doing spells. She had access to my apartment, for God's sake. And every time I went out to somewhere, because I didn't have any cameras, she would go inside my apartment and start chanting, doing a lot of evil incantations over my foundation and over my bed where I slept. And because I refused to acknowledge her as a person, she continued to create drama, reporting me to the leasing office with things that I wasn't even doing, so that the people in the office would turn against me. And they did, because these people in the leasing office in Reno, they hated me so much that I was exposing all of them, that they literally took the bribe to terminate my lease for no reason, no violation, nothing, no explanation. Why was this canceled? Why was it terminated? They said, we don't have to explain anything to you. You are nothing to us. And not only that, on the same weekend that I decided to move out of that apartment, that woman in front of my apartment also decided to move out. Where was she going? Where I was going. Most likely she is where I'm living. Maybe in the vicinity, or who knows exactly where, but she's in the vicinity. There's a lot of people and a lot of eyes on me. This woman literally moved out of the place right on the same day that I moved out of my place. The next thing you knew, I kept hearing noises of plastic being rolled and down, and I'm like, who's moving? I opened the door and boom, there she is. She's packing too. Now we are both moving. And I became so angry at her because I knew what she had been doing. So I said something out loud, and I said, you better not follow me or I will report you. She called the office, the leasing office, and told them that I was harassing her. That leasing office didn't waste time to send an email and say, get out of the property or we will call the police. And of course, the police would have showed up right away. But when I called the police, they laugh. They laugh at me. But when the police is called by, would have been called, let's say, for example, by this woman in front of me, or if the office would have called them, they would have showed up in less than 1 minute. Because they all were waiting for me to fall into that trap. They continue to provoke me so that I can fall into the trap of being arrested so that they can have their way with me inside. Their original intention and original plans are to have me locked up either in a mental asylum or in prison where I will be killed. Or they will have me killed with people in the inside, inmates that work for them from the inside. I told you before that these people have people placed strategically almost in every place that you can possibly imagine. And if you think for 1 second that you people are worshiping divinity when you see these people on the red carpets, think again. That is not divine at all. That is demonic reptilians who feed off of other people's energies, their visions, their dreams, their destiny, their desire to succeed. They steal it. And how do they become powerful, they say? By stealing. How are they so creative? By stealing. How do they have all of this? By stealing. It's all they have. Everything they have is stolen, or it came from drugs or prostitution, because all these people run this ring. It is an organized crime ring. Understand that this means drugs, prostitution, kid trafficking, child molestation. Destiny swapping, killing people for their destinies. Tupac, what happened to him? Destiny swap, exactly. What happened to Aaliyah? Destiny swap, exactly. And we all know. And how much longer are we going to continue to pretend that we don't know? In order to save people, we need to speak up. These people need to be exposed to the world for what they have done, not just to me. I'm not singling myself out. I'm talking about all the innocent people that they have wronged. Because they have wronged so many people, it is disgusting to see. Oh, excuse me, guys. I was thirsty. It is disgusting to see that they walk around, parading around in an energy that does not belong to them. Tonight, they are performing a ritual of witchcraft, demonic ritual. All these group of people that I've been telling you about, not just these celebrities, but a whole bunch of all the people that I've been talking to you guys about. Tonight, Sunday night, they are performing a ritual where they are supposedly going to sever ties with me and God, me and the universe, so that I can get completely blocked out of my destiny, so that I get completely blocked from receiving the direct messages from God. Because everything I am telling you is coming from God, and He does not speak lies. He saw each and every one of these people do what they did and got away with it because of legal officials were paid and bribed to be silenced and turn the blind eye to an injustice that was taking place with a citizen of the United States, a citizen that should have deserved the right to be protected because that person is a U.S. citizen. And still they want to treat you like you are an outcast, an outsider that doesn't even belong. But in reality, it is them who don't even belong where they are. I belong where they are. They don't. Everything they are is nothing but a carbon copy of me or someone else. Songs have been stolen. Movies have been stolen. Books have been stolen. What do you think the reason is why I don't publish my book? Because in the book, there are specific details that only the FBI has. And the reason I don't publish this book is because they are busy sitting in the background creating fake profiles or hiring hackers to hack into that system and block the sale of that book. They don't want me to do anything with my life so that they can continue to get away with the world believing that I am simply, how do you say that? A loser, I guess. I don't want to put it into really bad words, but a loser, I guess. It's what they want the world to continue to believe. But in reality, they're lying. They have been swindling the world. The whole world has been swindled with lies and deceits of personalities and images that do not exist and belong to others. Do you truly believe that they are that artistic? If they were artistic, why did they not start creating or being artistic at an early age? Why did they have to wait till they're 30 or 50 years old? That woman that keeps running around Hollywood, engaging with women or getting engaged with men, only to ask for a stupid engagement ring. And anillo pa cuando? And the ring for when? Listen to that. Is she that pathetic? Is she that stupid? Men don't respect women like that. This is not a divine feminine. Any woman that dares to ask a man for an engagement ring is a loser, a prostitute that is only looking to make a business transaction with that man, not love. That's how she makes herself richer and richer and richer. But the biggest blow on her narcissistic ego was for her little dancer boyfriend to leave her over a transgender with a much bigger butt than hers. And the transgender's butt was real. That was her biggest blow. This is the reason she cannot stand people from the LGBTQ. That is the reason why she divorced her ex, the father of her kids. I'm not going to mention his name. She divorced the father of her kids because that man has a family member who is transgender. That man has a sibling that is transgender. That is the reason why she divorced him. She did not stand the fact that there was a person in the family of the man that she had married who was actually, who knows, probably more feminine, more artistic, more creative. Who knows what the problem was between her and this transgender person in this man's family. But I can definitely tell you that this came out of insecurity and jealousy. Because a real woman, and I'm talking about a real woman all the way around. A real woman is never, ever, 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 ever feel intimidated by a transgender person. Because that woman knows that she is always going to be on top, winning over that transgender. She knows that. But her, when she goes out of her way to divorce the father of her kids because of the transgender member in his family, this is discrimination, homophobia at its worst. This is the reason life brought her karma with her dancer boyfriend that chose a transgender over her. That was her bigger slap, her karmic slap. And instead of understanding the karmic lesson, she becomes more bitter. She becomes more bold about copying other people's looks, only to get under that people's skin. Because she herself has no skin of her own. This is the reason I don't worship people like that, like you guys. And I respect everyone who has admiration for certain celebrities. But I don't. I don't have respect for these people. They are not people. I keep saying they are reptilians. Cloaked in divinity. And then there's Kerry Washington. Kerry Washington, the actress from Scandal, she was in my Facebook page for a little while. Also another actress that never bothered to say hello. But they were quick to siphon my energy off of my social media page and share my essence with others, stealing it. Instead of saying a tribute to Gia Loren's words or Gia Loren quotes, nothing. Everything is, oh, look what I wrote. Look what I created. And the question is, who do you think you people are fooling? The only thing that we know that you people know how to do is how to spend money on stupid cars, on stupid high-end clothes that you barely wear, going out to the clubs, getting wasted, bringing firearms into the clubs, getting people shot in the face because they don't care. This is who these people are. If they want to continue to hate me because I can see exactly beyond their veil, then be it. But it's never going to change the way I see them. My own mother used to say to me, "You're never going to have anyone to love you." You know why? Because you don't let yourself to be controlled. You don't let yourself to be tamed. You do not submit. I said to her, "Well, I'm glad you can see that. I'm glad that we understand each other." Because I myself couldn't stand that woman. And I say that because that's not my mother. My real mother would have never canceled my green card the way that she did. My mother all along is a crook herself. A woman that do anything for money. I don't care if she's listening or if the family members are listening. Ask me if I care. Not at all. I'm glad that they're listening. I'm glad they're part of the listeners. I don't mean to be that mischievous, but no, I'm just saying. It's true. I don't care. They need to know how I see them. They need to understand how I perceive them so that they understand that if we ever run into each other face to face, you don't talk to me, you don't turn around and you don't say nothing to me. I know exactly what you're up to. If you ever see me going out of my way to reach out to a person, is because I feel that that person is worth my energy. It's worth my time. It's worth my respect. But someone low vibrational like these people, no way. Just the way they hate me, I despise their deceitful ways. This is the only reason why they are trying to hide me at all cost. Because they know that once the world sees exactly who they are done, finished. And they all will be. Some of them will be exposed worldwide on the news. Some of these people are going to be on the worldwide news. And they're going to be exposed for what they have done to me. Because the world needs to understand that the people that they have been worshiping are evil people that can easily take one of their own family members. What these people have done is wrong, illegal in every aspect. And they will all pay for this. Legally and karmically. Karmically speaking, they're going to have the heaviest karma that anyone can possibly have. These people are going to suffer homelessness. Their power will be completely stripped off. Their assets will be seized. Their loved ones are going to die or go to prison because somebody has to pay the karma for their bad deeds. And because they refuse to see that I am a person that they cannot touch, God will show them what happens when you do touch His anointed people. Karmically speaking, anyone around these people, family members, friends, co-workers, lovers, it doesn't matter who they are. As long as they are going to be around these people, they are all going to have the same bad karma that these people carry with them in their ugly, evil energy. Anyone that has any kind of relations with these or relation to these people, they probably have already seen what has happened because they did somebody wrong, someone that didn't deserve to be done wrong the way they did. Their kids are going to pass away. Their family members will pass away. They themselves will pass away. The mother of the Virgo man, the homosexual Virgo man that I've been talking about all this time, That is an old woman. This woman is going to lose her life because she won't stop doing witchcraft and black magic on my spirit, my energy. This old woman has a severe case of obsession and revenge against me for something that who knows when it happened. The only thing I know is that she's an ugly ogre that needs to be locked up in prison for all the crimes and the murders that she has committed against innocent people. She needs to be held accountable for having taken advantage of the power that she had, for having abused the power that she had. That woman is going to pass away. Sorry, Virgo man, but your little mother has a lot of things to pay. Your little mother is an ugly ogre, a monster that when she dies, even hell will rebuke her because she's so evil to even be along with the other people in hell. She will be thrown directly into the lake of fire and eternally burn in it without death, so that she can suffer every second and every minute, every day, every year, every season of pain that she has inflicted upon others. Every pain that she has inflicted on innocent beings, she will pay it with her own flesh without ever decaying or die. That is going to become a burning spirit that will burn and rot in the flames of hell for all the evil things that she has done, even to her own son. Her own son is the only loser that chose to be broken, to stay broken. That is the reason she abused him even more, because he was weak. He couldn't get up and stand up to her like a man. This woman actually sees her son as her husband. And let it be known that there's a lot of incest within his family together. Him, his mother, a lot of incest taking place. A lot of sexual molestation on underage kids in his family. Almost the same thing that happened to me when I was a kid. People were sexually molesting me and raping me left and right, and no one said anything. I had to endure all the pain, all by myself, because the people in charge refused to acknowledge what had happened to me. And today, God is saying that all of you are headed straight to a serious demise that no one can stop. All of you are going into severe lifetimes of cycles of karma, bad karma, that you will not be able to ever transfer onto an innocent person again. This time you will suffer your own flesh. I am going to sit next to God and watch you be thrown into the lake of fire and watch you squirm and yell and scream with the same pain, the same agony that you put me through out of a stupid vendetta. This woman actually followed me from the past life, because in the past life something took place. What that is, I don't know. I don't want to know. That's before Christ. Who knows? But something happened. And when I was reincarnated into this life, she reincarnated too, so that she can continue the stupid vendetta that she had against me. because her intention is to finish me off, to kill me altogether. These Virgo man's mother, she's no joke. This is a true murderer. A woman with so much blood in her hands that it is insane how she has been able to walk around free with it. The number of times that she has received a life insurance payout is amazing, isn't it? Darling. All of you need to leave me alone. Understand that what is coming for you, no one can stop, no one can change. Your little stupid witchcraft and your stupid little rituals of destiny swap, it's not gonna work. But if you are that curious, remember the curiosity killed the cat. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I hope that this information helped, and I hope that the message of being strong and being powerful in your belief and your connection with God, understand that this is what will save you in the end. These people are people that work for the devil. They've already sold their soul to do what they have been doing all this time to me and many other innocent victims. Please help me share this video. Please help me share and raise the awareness, because this group of people need to be stopped. That Schultz Virgo man and his mother and that copycat of his, they all need to pay for this. Not just for what they've done to me, for the many lives that they have taken out of greed, hate, envy, and spite. And they were telling people, we're going to teach this bitch a lesson that she will never forget, for having insulted us, for having pulled her energy away from us. Well, I'm sorry, darling, but no one said I had a brand in my tattoos that says property of so and so. I have a seal, but it says property of God, just in case you didn't know. And for my subscribers, no matter what you are going through, no matter how hard the situation is right now, or how hard it might seem, understand that those are nothing but illusions created by the devil and those that want to keep you in the low vibrational energy. Wake up, pray to God, ask Him to guide you, ask Him to wake you up and to reveal all your enemies and all that has been done against you. And then tell me if I am wrong. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. I love you. Be strong. Keep your faith in God. Understand that God is the only one that saves. The devil does not save. And all of you, these people that have committed these crimes, they're going to see that with their own eyes in this lifetime. I love you guys, and I'll be back with another video. Ciao. Bye. Sorry, you guys, I forgot to add something to this video recording. All these people that I've been mentioning in this video and other previous videos, these people, as we speak, they are plotting how to kill me. They are plotting how to take me out of here altogether. They don't want me to continue to speak on what they have done, because they want to continue the image of divinity. These people are plotting on how to disappear me, how to kidnap me, how to harm me in any way, just for them to shut me up and stop me altogether. Because they want me out of here at any cost. Anything happens to me, it is not coincidental. There's no such thing as a car accident or just a spiritual death. We're going to kill her during her sleep and she'll never wake up. Stop plotting on my death. When I am asleep is when I am the most protected. Okay? You people need to get it together and understand what true spirituality is, and stop doing crazy things that you don't even know what you're doing, and you don't even know what you guys are getting yourselves into. You clearly are ignorance, spiritual ignorance, who only act out of action, out of instinct, out of impulse. Be rational. Don't just think about yourselves and think about the family that you're leaving behind and hurting because of your stupidity. Think about that marriage that means so much to you. You're jeopardizing it because you're being evil and cunning towards me. I'm going to leave you with that. Maybe that'll give you something to think about because nothing goes unnoticed, sweetheart. Your little millions and billions of dollars are not going to help to keep the truth quiet anymore. I call on all the chosen ones to rise and speak up. I call on all the innocent people that have been exploited, abused, and mistreated and sexually raped to speak up. Bring your story to the forefront. Let the world hear it. Let the world see what these people have done. I love you guys. Stay strong.